On February 1st, conceited and acrid television meteorologist Phil Connors, Bill Murray, newsmaker Rita Hansen, Andy McDowell, and cameraman Larry, Chris Elliott, from fictitious Pittsburgh TV slot WPBH TV9 traveled to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, to cover the yearly Groundhog Day merriments with Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog. Having become fed up with this task, Phil hesitantly gives his Groundhog Day report the following day, February 2nd, during the celebration in March. After the festival finishes up, a snowstorm fosters that Connors had anticipated would miss them, shutting down the streets and closing down significant distance telephone administrations, driving the group to get back to Punxsutawney. Be that as it may, Connors stirs the following morning to find it is February 2nd once more, and his day unfurls in the very same manner. Connors can change his way of behaving, however others do, and express exactly the same things they did and said the earlier day, except if Connors changes something. He knows about the reiteration, yet every other person is by all accounts living February 2nd interestingly. This recursion rehashes the next morning and the one from that point onward, and again and again. For Connors, Groundhog Day starts every morning at 6 a.m., when he awakens in his room in a Victorian quaint little inn. His clock radio is continuously playing a similar melody, "I Got You Darling," by Sonny and Cher. His recollections of the earlier day are flawless, yet he is caught in an apparently perpetual time circle, rehashing that very day in a similar modest community. After momentarily attempting to legitimize what is going on, and afterward thinking he is crazy, Connors exploits learning the day's occasions and the data he can assemble about the town's occupants, and finds that his activities have no drawn-out ramifications for himself. He delights in this present circumstance for a period, luring lovely ladies, taking cash, in any event, driving alcoholic and encountering a police pursuit. In any case, his endeavors to tempt his maker, Rita, are met with rehashed disappointments. He starts to feel burnout on, and afterward fear, his reality, beginning the day by crushing the morning timer and declaring the silliness of Groundhog Day as a vacation in his broadcast. In a vain endeavor to break the cycle, he seizes Phil the groundhog. After a police pursuit, Connors drives a taken truck into a quarry, making both man and rat pass on in a searing blast. However, the circle doesn't stop. He ends it all few additional times. He shocks himself, allows the truck to hit him out and about, and bounces from a tall structure. Different endeavors are suggested, yet simple passing can't prevent the day from rehashing. After he bites the dust, he essentially awakens paying attention to Sonny and Cher in a similar bed, around the same time, again and again. He at first attempts to lure Rita by advancing however much he can consistently. First he asks what she needs in a man, somebody who is unassuming, kind, liberal, bold and delicate, somebody who likes youngsters, somebody who cherishes his mom and plays an instrument. He realizes what she enjoys, rough street frozen yogurt, sweet vermouth, French verse, and what she could do without, white chocolate, and claims to share her preferences. This likewise flops reliably. In a large number of scenes, Rita slaps him before the night is finished. Be that as it may, he can get to know her in a more true style. He tells her of his conditions, how he is remembering the day again, and figures out how to persuade her regarding reality with his broad information on occasions to come, the existences of the Punxsutawney residents, and Rita herself. He holds nothing back from Rita, and her recommendation assists him with step-by-step tracking down an objective for his cult life, as a promoter to other people. He can't, in a solitary day, carry others to satisfy his requirements, however he can accomplish personal growth by teaching himself consistently. In the wake of seeing an old vagrant bite the dust, Connors promises that nobody will kick the bucket on his day and performs numerous brave administrations every single rehashing day, including playing out the Heimlich move on a stifling man and saving a young man who tumbles from a tree. Be that as it may, he becomes discouraged at being not able to save the vagrant, regardless of attempting to get him clinical consideration. At the point when he requests to see the man's clinical graph, a medical caretaker tells him. In some cases, individuals simply pass on. Connors answers, "Not today," but rather he never figures out how to forestall it. However, the film doesn't determine the quantity of redundancies. There is sufficient time for Connors to master numerous mind-boggling abilities, for example, how to play jazz piano, communicate in French, shape ice, and remember the biography of nearly everybody around. He additionally excels at flipping playing a card game into an improved cap, which he casually recommends requires a half year. As per Danny Rubin, who shares screenwriting credit with the chief, the expectation in the first content was for the time period of Connors' rehashing days to be vague, however longer than a solitary lifetime. The studio had a problem with this, asking that it be decreased to about 14 days. Chief Harold Ramis attempted to leave the time period circle questionable as how often Connors remembers February 2nd, yet it is emphatically conjectured by Connors, and the watchers, to be no less than 10 years. In the end, Phil sees his own shadow, as it were, and transforms from a discourteous, unfeeling egocentric into a smart, compassionate giver, refining how he might interpret human tolerability, which, consequently, makes him an appreciated and dearest man in the town. Phil can become a close acquaintance with nearly everybody he meets during the day, utilizing his encounters to save lives and help the residents. All the while, he draws nearer to Rita. He creates a report on the Groundhog Day festivities so smooth that the wide range of various stations turn their mouthpieces to him. After the huge Groundhog Day evening dance, Rita and Phil resign together to Phil's room. That's what they trust, assuming Rita is there. The cycle might be interfered. He wakes the following morning in bed with Rita. They are both still completely dressed, and makes the opportunity circle is broken. It is currently February 3rd. Phil is an unexpected individual in comparison to he was on February 1st, and, subsequent to heading outside, Phil and Rita discuss living in Punxsutawney together. Connors proposes. "Well, least to begin." The end tune is practically like being enamored. From Brigadoon, a melodic which likewise managed a town caught in time,